Hello, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and welcome to the latest episode of your Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate with me, your host, Pittsburgh Owen. And today, guys, we're asking, is it time for the Pittsburgh Steelers to send in the big gun? So, guys, what do I mean by that? Well, there's been some very positive reports coming out of OTAs and out of minicamp regarding Gunner Olszewski. Yes, Olszewski. I had to rewatch the Missy Matthews interview with him earlier just to get that pronunciation spot on. Yeah, it is obviously an exceptionally difficult last name there to spell, apparently, but it is Gunner Olszewski. That's what he said to Missy Matthews anyway. So when the Pittsburgh Steelers signed Gunner Olszewski in this free agency period, he was signed obviously as a kick returner, punt returner from the New England Patriots. He's 25 years old. He's 6 foot, 190 pounds. He comes from Alvin in Texas. He's a Texas local. He was asked why he wanted to come to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he said that obviously the Steelers were offering him a 2-year contract, and he said it was obviously he wanted to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers organization, given the reputation that they have as a winning organization, a team that wins games, and also the fact that Mike Tomlin was a major pulling factor, the ability to work for a coach like Mike Tomlin. So all very positive there from Gunner Olszewski in that interview with Missy Matthews. He was a first-team All-Pro in 2020 for kick returning and punt returning when he was with New England. So is he just a kick returner, punt returner? Is that all he does? Is that the only purpose that he has? Well, guys, no. That's the honest answer. No, it isn't. Because, I was listening to, I think it was Chris Carter the other day, and listening to Jenna Harner, and also, Wes Euler as well. And they were talking about Gunner O, as they call him. And they were saying that, he's really impressed during Steelers minicamp and Steelers OTAs as a wide receiver. Guys, I know it's football in shorts. I know. But it gives you that initial feeling of what you've got with those free agents you've signed, with those rookies you've drafted. It gives you a look at their techniques. It gives you a look at what they can do. Okay. Obviously, once it comes down to training camp and the pads go on and it comes down to preseason when we're competing against other teams, then we'll see really what the likes of Gunner O, George Pickens, CA3, James Daniels, DeMarvin Leal can bring to the party for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's when we'll really see. But these initial days, it's nice to see these initial times with these free agents and these rookies getting to know the Steelers players, getting to know the Steelers coaches, and showing the Steelers fans what they're capable of, or starting to show, shall I say, the Steeler fans, Steeler Nation, what they're capable of doing. If you looked at the positive reports coming out of OTAs and minicamp about Gunner O, it said that, his catching was very good, his catch radius was very good, and he was able to get separation away from his cover. He really impressed during this time. A lot of people were thinking that maybe he wouldn't even make the roster, given the fact that Calvin Austin III can kick return and punt return and is an exceptionally fast guy. But it's a possibility now that Gunner O could well make the wide receiver room and be wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5, depending on where he is placed. Obviously, Claypool, Johnson, and Pickens are the top 3 that are favourites to be the wide receiver 1, 2, and 3. CA3 obviously fits in there as well, but Gunner O could quite easily take that 5th spot as a wide receiver over the likes of Miles Boykin, Cody White, even though his dad is now involved with the Steelers front office. He could be a bit of a secret weapon for the Pittsburgh Steelers, couldn't he? If we look back at this guy's stats, let's have a look at the stats. First of all, let's start with what he is best at: kick returning and punt returning. So we can see there 3 seasons in New England for number 80 as he was in New England. I think he's number 89 now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So in 2019, he played in 8 games, 20 returns for 179 yards. Yards per return there was 9. In 2020, he played in 13 games, started 2 apparently, 20 returns for 346 yards, 1 touchdown. Once he took it to the house, 70 was his long, 17.3 yards per return. In 2021, he played in 16 games again, 26 returns, punt returns this is, 27 yards was his long, no touchdowns, and 11.9. These are all punt returns. On his kick returns, he didn't kick return in 2019. However, he did kick return in 2020 and 2021. In 2020, he returned 18 kicks of 418 yards, long of 33, averaging 23.2 yards per return. In 2021, he returned 18 again. He had 416 yards in total, just 2 yards down in his previous year. 37 was his long, 23.1 was his yards per return. So pretty impressive figures there, from Gunner O. But like I said to you, it's not just kick return and punt return that Gunner Olszewski brings to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He also brings receiving talent. Now, let's have a look at these receiving stats as they stand at this moment in time. So, as you can see, the games played obviously stays the same there. So in 2019, he was targeted 4 times for 2 receptions for 34 yards, averaging obviously 17 yards per reception. In 2020, he was targeted 5 times for 62 yards, 12.4 average with 1 touchdown. In 2021, he was targeted 3 times for 2 receptions, 31 yards, 15.5 yards average. 1 touchdown that he got came in 2020. His long was 29 in 2019, 38 in 2020, and 22 in 2021. No fumbles there, which is very encouraging. So that shows, there's a basis there for the Steelers coaches to work with, and they're obviously working with that as they have been doing through the OTAs, through the minicamp, from what the journalists who've been at the UPMC Rooney facility are reporting to us in Steelers Nation. In addition to that, Gunner Olszewski has also been used for rushing at times. Altogether, only 6 attempts, but it's interesting to look at these stats. 2020, 5 attempts for 23 yards, averaging 4.6 yards per carry. And then in 2021, he had 1 attempt for 9 yards, averaging 9 yards, obviously. No fumbles there, no touchdowns there, which is very encouraging. Now, could it be that he also could be someone like a CA3, used on those gadget plays, used as a jet sweep, used in the backfield as like a wide back, very much in that Deebo Samuel type role? And I'm not saying he's as talented as Deebo Samuel, but sometimes having that wide receiver that can do not just the outside wide receiver's job or a slot job, but can drop back into running back or half back, can really throw the opposition. And that's something the Matt Canada system is all about. The Matt Canada system is all about movement. Gunner Olszewski could quite easily fit into that system and be very mobile in how the Steelers use him. His awareness is excellent. Watching some of his tape, he shows great awareness of where the ball is, where defenders are, especially on special teams. He's very tough as well. Looking at the way he returns, he's not afraid to take contact. He's not afraid to go into big groups of opposition players. So, he's obviously a very tough guy. He reminded me a little bit of how he plays and then how he returned of Julian Edelman in his early days. Could he be an Edelman type for the Pittsburgh Steelers maybe? Or is that a little bit too high expectations? Am I likening him and setting the bar a little bit too high for Gunner Olszewski? He was asked about Danny Smith as well in the interview. Obviously, he was going to be his primary coach as a special teams coach. He says he calls Danny Smith his kind of guy because Danny Smith is loud and likes to talk football, just like Gunner O. Well, guys, what do you think? What do you think of Gunner Olszewski? What's he going to do this season? Where are we going to use him? Is he going to be used? Is he going to make the roster? Let me know in the comments below, guys, and hit that subscribe button. Come and join the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. Hope you've enjoyed the content. And if you are, like I said, hit that subscribe button. It really means the world to Mark and I. Okay, guys, here we go, Steelers. Come